Sergeant of Police with 34 years service in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. She has served with the United Nations on 3 UN missions in Africa, namely Namibia, Liberia, Darfur, and Sudan. In Liberia, she served as Chief of Investigations and was responsible for the training of the Liberian police officers in internal investigations. She later became the Deputy Chief of Staff for that mission. In Darfur, she served as a divisional commander and was the first woman to be appointed to that position. She was later elevated to the position of executive officer and represented the United Nations Police in New York at a forum on protecting civilians. She is now the head of the Community Safety and Security Unit for the St. Catherine North Division since September 2011. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and help me to welcome our guest presenter, Oberlin Angela Smith-White.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so very much. It is an honor to be here this evening. I feel blessed to be in your presence. I thank you for inviting me to address you. I also feel very blessed to be in the presence of the nominees. When I think community, I think closeness. I think family. I think partnership. Family takes care of each other. And I will tell you this story. There was this man who felt that he had enough of life in the town. So he wanted to get away from people. He wanted to move far away so that he would not have neighbors and he would not have people around him. So he went into the countryside, far out of sight of everybody. So one day, while he was home, he saw whiteness into the distance. It was dust. And coming closer, he saw that it was a pickup that drove up to his house. A man came out, and the man said to him, "I am inviting you to a party." And he said, "Party? Where?" The man said to him, "Don't worry yourself. You will have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of food. We're going to have a lot of infighting, a lot of communication." He said, "So tell me something. What should I wear?" The man said to him, "Don't worry yourself. Just wear what you have on, because it will only be 2 of us." You see, we think that we can get away from people. We think that it is okay, but it is not. And for you, the nominees this evening, you have answered the call. In 1961, President of the United States of America, he said, John F. Kennedy, he said, "Think not what you can do, what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." And this is what the people of Yorkton is doing here. They are doing for their community. They are not thinking of what their community can do for them, but what they can do for the community. Let us put it this way. We have to thank God for his blessings. God has blessed us tremendously. Sometimes people say, nothing now go on. We hear it all the time. Or nothing is happening. But a lot of things happening around us. We are so blessed in Jamaica and we would not understand. And as you heard before, that I served in Africa on 3 UN missions. Let me tell you something. When I came back to Jamaica last year, I kept saying to myself, Jamaica pretty. And people were saying, my children were saying, Mommy, you sound like a stuck record, like a broken record. You would not understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes we beat up ourselves because we don't know what is happening in the rest of the world. And we don't know that we have such a beautiful and blessed country. And you know we are destroying it. We don't know what we have. We don't know this Jamaica that we have. We really don't know. And we don't give God thanks for the blessings that we have. In my last mission in Darfur, Darfur is where people like ourselves, people of our color, they live and they die. Life expectancy in Darfur is 45. People live and die, inshallah. Inshallah means God's will. There is no hospital, no school. And I could go on and on and on with no. They have nothing. And when the haboob comes, and haboob is something like the hurricane, and the haboob blow their little house over, and all they have to do is just pick up and start again. Because there is no government that looks out for them. There is no community spirit like we have in Jamaica. We are so blessed, I must tell you. And we need to start acknowledging and respecting this gift that God has given us. We really need to do that. I know for you, the nominees, yes, you have responded to the call because you are going to be given awards for things that you have done in the community. But there are still those that sit on the periphery, looking on and looking in, and not saying, what can I do to make me better? What can I do to make my family better? What can I do to make my community better? Or what can I do to make my country better? It starts here, right here. It starts within each and every one of us. We just have to have the will to start to do something. And I heard the speaker before, when he was giving his overview, he was asking other people to come. Other people who have not yet started to help their community, he was asking them, come out, assist more. God has given us so much, let me tell you. What if somebody said to you, I'm giving you $1 million. How will you spend this $1 million? How would you spend it? The person said, okay, you cannot save it. You have to spend this $1 million today, all of it. You can't leave any for the next day. You have to spend all this money today. You know what this $1 million is? This $1 million is the gift of life and the gift of love. Every day we spend that $1 million. How we spend it is either we waste it or we spend it wisely. So I'm going to ask for those people who have not yet come on board to spend your $1 million wisely. Because we take a lot of things for granted. We say we take sleep and mark debt, right? But when do we say that? When somebody owes us something and we write them off. That is when we take sleep and mark debt. but not when we wake up in the morning and we have life. We don't say we give thanks. Take sleep and mark death. We could have passed on. Yes. So we are so blessed that we are here. We are all here this evening. It's a blessing. So let us use this blessing. We are not thinking about it. We are taking a lot of things for granted. We have a lot of things that other people in this world don't have. And I will take you back to Darfur because I love talking about Darfur. When I went to Darfur, I was told, when I was appointed the first woman to be a divisional commander, I was told by my colleague that I would not make it because Darfur is a patriarchal society and I could not make a big breakthrough with the men. And let me tell you, I went to this village called Tawila where I was in command. And yes, it was very difficult, but nothing is impossible under the sun. The men would pass me because I am a woman, and they would shake the men's hands, but not mine. And I would go home in the evening and I would say to my colleague, another Jamaican, because there were two of us there, and I would say to her, what am I going to do to make an impact on these people? In Darfur, women don't have a voice. Women are seen and not heard. In Jamaica, we can sit at the front. In Darfur, the women sit in a corner or they sit at the back. Women take no part in neither household or governance. Nothing whatsoever. So when I said to myself, how am I going to make an impact on these people? Seeing that the men, they are very negative towards me. So you know what I started doing? I remember the 13th of March. It was the first time I went out in Darfur, the 13th of March 2008. And when I went out into the village, when I came back, I cried like somebody beat me. Because I was saying it was the first time in my life I was exposed to people so dirty and they are not mad. Yes, because water is very scarce. I remember the 21st of March, there was a fire in the village. About 21 houses were destroyed because there were little thatch houses. And when there was a fire, the fires just swept through. And people were crying. The other women police from the other nations, they were crying. The Zambians, the Botswanians, they were crying, oh, madam, what are we going to do? And I said, where is my deputy? My deputy, he was from Egypt. He was my operational officer. I said, please go to the military camp and let us take water over to these people and put out the fire and let us help them. And I said, oh, madam, this has never happened before. I said, I am from Jamaica. We are a very resourceful people, you know. I said, I am from Jamaica and we are going to make it happen. And we took water over to those villagers' house and we helped them to put out the fire. And they were saying this is the first time they were seeing something like this. And when there is a wedding, I would collect money from my UN counterparts and I would put it in an envelope and I would make a gift to these people to buy a donkey for the women so that they can be better off. Because the women would use this donkey to collect water and to collect firewood. And these are the little things that I did to warm my way into the hearts of these people. And when I was leaving Darfur, when I was leaving Tawila after a year, the same men who would not shake my hands, they were going to demonstrate. They were saying, oh, madam, you cannot leave. We want you here. So I had to tell them, when I go to El Fasher, life will be even better for you because I will be in a better position to make representation for you. That was how they did not demonstrate for me. I was nervous because let me tell you something, the village was hard. It was very hard. I slept on the floor for a year because the bed there, the beds, they're not so strong. So when you put the mattress on the bed, it would sink in the middle. So I had to put the mattress on the floor to save my back. This is the life that people in this world are living. And let me tell you, those mattresses was for UN people, you know, not for the villagers. The beds in their houses are made of sticks. The women sleep on the floor and the men on the bed. The women and the children sleep on the floor. This is the life of women in Darfur. Ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed. Let us use our blessing wisely. Let us use our blessing for ourselves, for our children, and for our community to make our community stronger. The theme, building a better community, building a better Jamaica, building a better Yuatan. Let us do it for ourselves and our nation. I thank you.